Hello class, welcome to Unit 6 of Principles of Corporate Governance and Ethics. I am Zenobia Basin. At the end of this unit, you should understand the need for ethical practices in the functional areas of business, understand the importance of ethics in organizational management, learn about ethics and the functional areas of business, understand the impact of ethics in organizational management, and understand the different business functional areas. You would also understand the challenges and opportunities in promoting corporate ethics in business. And lastly, identify the driving forces of corporate ethics in modern societies. Session 1. We are going to learn about corporate ethics and leadership. At the end of this session, you should be able to understand the relationship between leadership and ethics, understand the importance of ethics in leadership, understand the need for managers to lead ethically. You should be able to explain leadership, understand the different theories of leadership, understand positive change, develop a framework for leading positive change, and lastly, management skills and activities required to affect a positive change in the organization. Leadership and ethics. Leadership is influence others to accomplish an objective and directing the organization in a way that makes it more cohesive and coherent in achieving its objectives or goals. So when we say leadership, that means you are influencing people to act in a particular way to accomplish a goal. You direct the organization as a whole to accomplish a goal more cohesively and in a coherent manner. Ethical leadership is leadership that is directed by respect for ethical beliefs and values and for dignity and rights of others. So when we talk about ethical leadership, that's when you respect other ethical beliefs of individuals in the organization. You value and use dignity for others in dealing with others in the organization. Leading includes the ability to create a vision, direct the work activities of others, motivate and inspire people, empower employees, monitor and coach others, direct people to achieve organizational goals, counsel, resolve conflicts and differences between people in the organization. So as a leader, you are going to do all these things in the organization because it's going to come up by the power of the position in the organization. So by your power as a leader, it will be necessary for you to do these things in an organization. Characteristics of an excellent leader include honesty, ability to delegate authority, excellent communication skills, sense of humor. As a leader, you shouldn't always be aloof, you shouldn't always be angry. Sometimes you should play with your people to lessen the stressed working environment. Confidence, commitment to the organization, to yourself, and to the employees, other employees that you are leading or supervising the organization. Positive attitude is very important. Some employees learn from you. We have creative and innovative. The ability to be creative and innovative would impact other employees too. Ability to motivate and inspire other employees. Intuitive, you should be intuitive. Your sixth sense should be working. You should be someone that is able to think outside the box. Some qualities of a great leader also include vision, courage, integrity, humility, strategic planning, focus, and cooperation. So, as a great leader, these 7 qualities should be inherent in you. You should be able to depict these qualities to make you a great leader in an organization. Others include 100% future oriented, have positive attitude, and take responsibility when due. 6 ways to succeed as a leader include inspiring commitment, leading employees, strategic planning, change management, employee development, and self-awareness. So as a successful leader, you should be able to be committed to the organization and to your subordinates or people that you are supervising. You should be able to influence and lead people to achieve a particular goal. You should be a visionary leader. You should be strategic in your planning. So you know what the need is. Then you plan towards the need. You should be able to accept that there's going to be change in management. So you should be able to have the power to work with any change in management, or even if you are changed to a different position, you should be able to work effectively. Employee development is part of the ways you can succeed in an organization. How you change employee thinking, their skills, their expertise. So here we're talking about the learning that you give your employees on the job or off the job. Self-awareness, be aware that you're a leader and work accordingly. Situational factors that influence the leadership process. So, what are some of the situations that a leader may find him or herself in that may affect his ability to deliver in the organization? We have size of the organization, organizational life cycle stage. So, at what stage of the organization are you, and how do you have to lead or supervise your people to achieve a particular goal? Social and psychological climate also affects your decision making ability, patterns of employment, type, place and purpose of work performed, culture of the organization, overall environment in the organization, leader-follower interaction. How do you interact with your subordinates? Leader-follower compatibility. What is the compatible relationship you have with your subordinates? Compatibilities within the followers. How are your subordinates compatible in the organization? Similarities and differences between leadership and management. Some people are in the organization as leaders to lead a particular project. Some people are also managers with leadership roles. So they manage an organization or a department in an organization and also lead. Some people are just part of a management team or the managers themselves. So they just manage the organization or the department at one point. So now, when we say power is bestowed, when we talk about management, we are saying that power is bestowed on management or managers. That means the power comes with the fact that they are managers, so they have some inherent power as a manager. For leadership, it comes with the position. The power comes with the position. So as a leader, they give you some power. If you're able to execute your project effectively, that power comes to an end. Then we have administrative functions. Managers perform administrative functions in the organizations. Leaders are more concerned about interpersonal functions, how they can work to achieve a particular goal. Uninspirational figures. That's who managers are. Sometimes they don't inspire people, they don't motivate people, so they are uninspirational and unmotivated figures. They are all about let's go about this, let's achieve this. But for a leader, you are inspirational, you are motivational. You influence people to act in a way that would be able to achieve a particular goal. Management is predictable. For the management's duties and responsibilities, you know they move from point A to point B. So their management practices or their outputs or outcomes is predictable. Leaders produce change based on their innovative, their creativity, and their intuition. They're able to produce change. They need followers to succeed. So if you have put someone in a position or a project, then you need to give the person people that he or she can work with. They have values, high morals, and ethical standard is some of the things they apply in their leadership roles. Ethical leadership. Ethical leadership is leadership that is directed by respect for ethical beliefs and values for the dignity and rights of others. We've looked at this already. So, as a leader, you use ethical principles or values, morals as a basis for your role, supervisory role in the organization. Some activities of leaders that encourage ethical behavior include creating clear boundaries. You have to create clear boundaries in the organization. You're a leader. So this is where your power ends. This is where your power starts from. Guiding policy development. It is important that when there are being policies that are being developed, you can contribute or you should contribute to the policy development. Asking the right questions. It's important that a leader asks the right questions. This is what is going to encourage you to behave ethically because you know what situation to use what ethical values or not. Reframing issues to bring forward ethical considerations. So when you're in a leadership position, you should be able to bring forth ethical considerations for situations. That's what is going to make you an ethical leader. Create systems designed to motivate other employees. It is very important that as you are motivating other employees, you are also motivating ethical decision making. So create systems designed to motivate ethical decision making and employees. Take responsibility for creating an ethical organization. It is very important that as a leader, you learn to take responsibility for your actions and inactions. Managers must provide a good role model. So as a manager, these are some of the ways you can provide a good role model. So by being a good role model to an employee or other people or even to your colleagues in the managerial role, you can go by being ethical and honest at all times. It is important that you're ethical and honest because people are watching you, they're observing how you do your things, and you set the tone for how others can also or should act in the organization. Telling the truth, don't hide or manipulate information. Admitting failure and not trying to cover it up. You should take responsibility as a manager to be a good role model for others. Communicate shared values to employees through symbols, stories, and slogans. Rewarding employees who behave ethically and punish those that do not behave ethical. This is going to boost employees to want to act ethical because when they act ethically, they are going to be rewarded in the organization. Protect employees who bring to light actions or behaviors that are what unethical. It is very important that you protect whistleblowers as and when they bring to you the information or they bring to your knowledge something that is unethical in the organization. An effective and ethical leader has the following traits or characteristics. So, to be an effective leader, you should have the following traits or characteristics first off as a person. So, you should have the traits of dignity and respectfulness. You should have the traits and the willingness to serve people. It is very important because as you're going to lead people, you should be willing to serve them and not to be served. You should be fair. You should practice fairness. That is through your ability to use fair treatment in organizational decision making. That is what we call justice. Community building. You should be someone who is involved in teamwork. It is very important. Honesty, respect for others, focus on team building, value driven decision making. So sometimes you shouldn't make decisions on your own. You should involve your subordinates, people that are working with you to achieve a particular goal. Leadership by example. People follow what you do. So they'll work according to how you lead them in the organization. Main elements of ethical leadership. We have role model, teacher, communication, maintaining a positive work environment, team empowerment, providing good working environment. So as an ethical leader, first off, you are going to serve as a role model to people. You're going to teach people the strengths. So as people are watching you do your activities, influencing them, they are learning from you. So indirectly or directly, you'll be teaching people in the organization how they should act ethically or not. Communication, how you communicate to your employees. Is it in a timely manner? Is it in the right information you are giving them? Does the information carry any ethical basis? How you deliver the information to them? Is it respect? Do you look down on them? So effective communication is very important. By here we mean the right information or the facts that they need in the right time, the manner in which you deliver the information to them. Maintaining a positive work environment is also very important. Team empowerment is one of the things that makes a leader succeed in an organization because one of the things is you need people to follow you to move a particular motion. So if you don't empower team members, they would not want to work with you or work as you would want them to. Providing good working environment, safety needs, the right resources, the right work facilities is very important for an organization to succeed. General ethical principles for a leader to have. We have the beneficence and non-maleficence. So the beneficence here will mean that someone who is kind, generous, good is someone we call the person with the beneficence principles. Non-maleficence is someone who is not mischievous, who is not evil, someone who is moral. Now let's look at principle B. The person should be someone who possesses fidelity and takes responsibility. Fidelity here remains someone who is loyal, faithful, trustworthy, and fair in his dealings. Integrity here remains someone who adopts ethical values in his or her decision making. It is very important for a leader to first off possess integrity characteristics or principles. Justice, being fair in your dealings. Respect for people's rights and dignity is also very important. Respect is reciprocal. If you respect someone, the person is going to respect you back and is going to promote effective communication, which can help you achieve a particular goal in the organization. Resolving ethical issues is very important. As a leader, you should have the ability to avoid ethical dilemma and conflicts of interest. Competence, how capable you are, how fair you are in your dealings, how the ability to do something. Then we have human relations, the ability to talk to your human relations, relate with them well to achieve a particular goal in the organization. Theories of leadership. Leadership approaches. 1. Traits approaches. Here, a leader uses his or her traits, or the traits of a leader influences how he approaches things in an organization. So here, if you say traits approaches, how stable the person is, how consistent his personality is what will determine how he or she approaches a particular situation. So if the person is unstable and inconsistent, you're going to see that in different approaches or even in the same approach, how the person dealt with it in time A is not the same as how the person will deal with it in time B. Behavioral approaches, how you behave. So here we talk about autocratic, democratic, laissez-faire, production, job return, or employee oriented. So autocratic is when you don't allow you're the sole person who makes decision. You don't allow other voices to contribute to decision making. Democratic, you allow the voices of others. You invite the opinions of others in behaving in the organization. Laissez-faire, you whatever comes. So you don't necessarily make decisions, but based on the situation that has happened, then you make a decision. You make a decision for a job or a production level if you are job oriented or production oriented. So that kind of person or that kind of leader is going to make a decision or is going to lead towards a particular goal of production or based on the job that the person wants to achieve in the short period or in the future. Employee oriented, here you make decisions or you are more involved in employees. So whatever employees want, you make decisions to suit employees. You influence employee decisions to achieve a particular goal. Then you have the full range approaches. This one is either transactional or transformational. So a transformational approach is when there is an exchange between leaders and their employees, motivated by reward and punishment. So here it is kind of a give and take. If you're able to produce 100 bags of cement, I'll give you a day off work tomorrow. So it's transactional. What you are doing for me and what you are getting in return. So it's motivated by reward and punishment. Transformational approach to leadership is idealized influence. So the idea that you have, the motivation, intellectual stimulation, and some consideration is what moves you to lead in an organization. So you are moved to transform something. Whatever approach that you take as a leader is towards transforming something in the organization. Contingency approach. Contingency is the possibility of something occurring. So a leader who acts as a contingency approach has the following. So this leadership style is task oriented or relationship oriented. And if that style is effective for the situation at hand on any situation that may emerge. So as a leader, you are contingent on the fact that based on the situation, you could either be task oriented or relationship oriented or how you react in any situation that may emerge. So contingency, something has happened. How do I react? Is it task oriented or relationship oriented? You have the Fedler's contingency model and the four situational styles of contingency approach. So the Fedler's contingency model is more of a leader-member relation. So that one is the leader to his members in a particular project or in the organization and how they work interchangeably to achieve a particular goal in a situation. So that one is more of a relationship oriented. How you relate with your employees, how you lead them determines how they contribute to organizational goals. Task structure, the job that you want to do. So the task orientation. So what do I want to achieve? How do I lead people, influence people to achieve that? Position power, based on the position that I have, what leadership power do I have? They have the four situational styles: the telling, the selling, the participation, and the delegating. So the telling is a high task to a low responsibility kind of leader-member relationship. So the task is high, but you realize that you have low relationship with the people, so you just are more interested in achieving a particular task. Selling is when you have high task and high relationship. The task is tough, so you motivate people. You are always with them on the job so that they can achieve the task at hand. Participating, that is low task, high relationship. You participate in the job, so you have a high relationship with the people. You work one-on-one with them to achieve a particular task. You're not more concerned about the task at hand. You are rather interested in the relationship that you have with the members in a particular project. Delegating, low task, low responsibility. Here you delegate the job to people. You are more on the background, looking at how they work, and you barely supervise them. So there's low relationship and there's low involvement in the tasks that your people would be doing. The Hersey-Blanchard model. Here is more of a relationship behavior and a task behavior. So here, based on the situation at hand, you know how to deal with people. You know how to deal with the job, whether you should get involved or not in the job. Then we have the decision-making theory or leadership participation model. Here, a sequential set of rules for determining how much participation of a leader uses in decision making according to different types of situations. As we look at the telling, the selling, the delegating, and others. So here you have a set of rules on how to deal with a particular situation as and when it comes. Then you have the path goal theory. Here the path goal is more of you have a particular path and you want to achieve a particular goal. So here you assist, you direct and support followers in attaining their goals. So it's a path and a goal. So how do we achieve a goal that we've set? So you assist your employees or your followers to achieve a particular goal. Other approaches of leadership skills include leader-member exchange model. So it's a relationship between a leader and a member and how they deal with their interpersonal relationships and organizational duties to achieve a goal. We have the shared leadership mutual influence process. So here the leadership shares or delegates some of his work to people. He shares the leadership power and they have a mutual influence in a particular process. We have the green leaf servant model, leadership model. So here leaders should be servants first. What the green leaf servant leadership model is saying is that leaders should serve. If you remember, we said leaders should have the willingness or the ability to serve. You are not going to be served. You are going to serve first before people would serve you. So leaders should be servants first. You should be willing to serve. Leaders must place the needs of their followers, customers, and other stakeholders above their own self-interest in order to be effective. So you are serving your customers, you are serving your employees, other people that you work in the organization, and other stakeholders before your own self-interest. E-leadership. The e-leadership is mediated by technology to produce a change in attitudes, feelings, thinking, behavior, and performance with individuals, groups, or organizations to achieve a particular or a specific goal. So here you use technology, you produce change in attitude, feelings, you capture these in technology, and you use technological advances in innovation to cause leadership in the organization. Importance of effective leadership is to promote productivity, promote performance, reduce employee turnover, contribute to job satisfaction. It is important for a leader to lead in an attempt to suit the organization. Thus, when you lead well, employees would get job satisfaction that would be fused into productivity, promote performance, and reduce employee turnover, their tendency to want to leave the organization. How do charismatic and visionary leaders differ from each other? Charismatic leaders are those who use personalities and actions to influence people to behave in a certain way. So this person is going to use his personality, the actions to influence you to also work in a particular way that is to his and the organization's benefit. Visionary leaders they are more of the long-term objective. So they are more to agenda towards the future. What do we want to achieve in the future? So their influence is not for the short term. It is more towards the long run and sustainable organizational existence. Critical leadership competencies for organizational management include ability to inspire a shared vision, strategic thinking, customer or citizen focus, decision making, developing organizational talent, creating and leading teams, leading by example, effective communication. These are some of the competencies that you need to lead an effective move in an organization. So with these critical competencies, a leader would be successful in managing an organization or the task at hand. Empowerment. Leaders need to empower employees to contribute to decision making. This is where you involve employees or your subordinates or people on a team to contribute to decision making. It is very important. So that's a key essence of leadership here is the trust that you award people, the credibility that you award them. So these are key essence of leadership that are supposed to be used in your quest to empower employees. Trust them and be credible. Treat their information as credible. Don't just disregard anything that someone says or contribute to decision making. A framework for leading positive change includes creating a climate of positivity. If you want a positive change, you should first create a climate of positivity where you are going to introduce positive energy and pay attention to the strengths and the best of individual selves. Encourage a climate of compassion, forgiveness, and gratitude. Create readiness for change. Employees should be ready for a positive change by you set benchmark and compare with current performance and see how it is going. If necessary, revise. Institute symbolic events to signal the positive change. So when a positive change happens, you can reward employees for their good work done. Create a new language that illustrates the positive change. Generate commitment to the vision of positive change. Here you apply principles of recreation to the work associated with the vision that you want to achieve. Institute a strategy of small wins. As we said, communicate the vision frequently. Vision is a long-term goal, so let employees be regularly reminded of the long-term initiative that you seek to achieve. Articulating a vision of abundance. Here you have to focus on creating positive deviance. Include left and right brain images by asking questions in the organization or asking subordinates what they think should be done. Ensure credibility of the vision through demonstrating. Institutionalizing the positive change is very important. You need to implement it by turning students into teachers, building human capital, identifying metrics, measures, and milestones in the organization. 11 ways to be a more ethical leader include performing simple tasks, let your impact be your guide, try the sleep test, build in safeguards, express your morals, be apparent and transparent and aware. Remember why you started being a leader. Do the right thing. Remember your character. How to be an ethical leader. Define your organization's values. Know your personal values. Set the tone. Recognize ethical dilemmas. So before you can be an ethical leader, you should know what your organization holds in high esteem and infiltrate it with what you know or what your ethical values are. So you are going to align your values to the organization's values. So you have to define your organization's values. Be aware of them. Know your personal values. Identify what you have as what you hold in high esteem, your morals, your standards. Then you set the tone. People are going to watch from you. Your subordinates are going to learn from you. So behave in a way that they can learn from you. Recognize ethical dilemmas in the sense that when there is an ethical dilemma, you should be able to know that this decision that you are making or the situation that you find yourself in, you may be making a decision that may be unethical. Ideas to apply. Make ethics a clear priority. Make ethical culture a part of every personnel related function in your organization. Encourage, measure, and reward ethical leadership at multiple levels. Regularly communicate about culture and ethical issues to employees in their work unit. Ensure that culture and ethics performance is adequately reflected in employee evaluations and compensation decisions. Be alert to exemplary ethical behavior and reward them accordingly. Areas of research. Do ethical leaders have special characteristics? How do people become ethical leaders? Does ethical leadership matter in an organization? Why does ethical leadership matter? How does it work? What level of ethical leadership matters most? Top management or lower level supervisory leadership? So you can go and read more about this. So you're going to research on these questions and also add to what you've learned so far. We have come to the end of session 1 of Unit 6. We have learned about the relationship between leadership and ethics, the importance of ethics in leadership, the need for managers to lead ethically, leadership, the theories of leadership, developing a framework for leading positive change, and management skills and activities required to effectively lead a positive change in an organization. See you in session 2 of Unit 6.